Order online at picassospizza.net.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Picasso's Pay the Bills post-game show here. Jake Micah joined by Alex Micah as on a Thursday night in Houston. We're still waiting for that first win since 2006 for the Buffalo Bills.
I think NRG Stadium is built on like a old Native American burial ground. But it's only tied to like the Haudenosaunee and the Bills and the Six Nations.
It's those are the two places that they are. Yeah, I could see that. Just a mess of a Thursday night game. The Bills lose 23-19. Josh Allen is sacked 8 times tonight. Well, did that last one? Yes, it did count towards it. So with the penalty there, they took the sack, which makes sense. The Bills have 3 turnovers. Houston has none. The defense has a really tough first half. They figure it out in the second half just in time for the offense to completely disappear, only getting a field goal in the second half. And honestly, they disappeared after the first drive in this game. Had some, got down into the red zone on the last drive, but up until that point, I think had under 100 yards since the first drive of the game. The first touchdown was a 45-yard run by James Cook. So it's really just one big play that they get on that drive to get the touchdown. But other than that, it's a, Ray Davis kick return where Houston he's bouncing off of Houston tacklers and he just kind of escapes.
He bounces off of Dorian Williams. It's a spin move off Dorian Williams.
Well, and it just looked like Houston, like they froze, like the game stopped for a reason, or like the controllers died for a second. They just overran him and he just goes off. But the Houston Texans, the story of this game is the usual issues for the Buffalo Bills this season creep their heads again. Poor run defense, letting Davis Mills, who he didn't have a great game, but hitting big plays when he needed to today.
I also this is my thing. Everyone's saying that Davis Mills. I don't think Davis Mills is that bad of a quarterback. Like, full honesty, like he's like fine. I don't think he's bad. He's a guy who's had a lot of reps in the league before. So I mean, I'm gonna preface with like the whole conversation with that.
That's fair.
And he started out really bad. He started like 1 of 8, and then he went, I think he went like 8 of like 14 after that or something like that. Or no, he wouldn't like. No, he started out 1 of 8, and then he ended the game 16-30. So he went 15-22 with 2 touchdowns down the stretch. So he just had to settle in. But I don't know. What do you want to talk about first, really? The idiocracy of the offense or the ineptitude of the defense?
Well, I think that the story of the game is the Texans defense and how much they rattled the Bills offense, because the Bills defense figured it out in the second half. And, the embarrassing thing from the defensive side of the ball for the Bills is letting up 2 red zone scores to the 31st ranked red zone offense in the league. I think and they did get 1 stop on a goal to go situation, but allowing those touchdowns to allowing a 12-play, 77-yard drive to this team is just unacceptable. And the defense, but we've seen this from the defense all year long, right? Like we know what to expect from them. Taron Johnson, man, I've been trying to sound the alarms. I know I've been trying to sound the alarms on him though, like, and I feel like it hasn't gotten enough. Like, there just hasn't been enough talk about him being an issue as a part of where we're talking about the issues with the linebackers, because he's supposed to be that third linebacker out there in those nickel sets. He gets run over by Woody Marks. But the defense, they had so many injuries in this game too. Terrell Bernard goes out with an elbow injury. Who knows what's going to happen there? Max Harrison leaves this game.
Memlo taking over the rep spot, but
yes, yeah, I know. Bills players just love attacking their own guys. Matt Milano hurt on that play. Trey White, the second he comes in after Harrison gets injured, he's getting targeted the whole time. They're just throwing at him and making plays towards him. So it's rough, but when the defensive unit is so, people do not give enough credence to the fact that the Bills defense was built to be the defensive line was supposed to be the difference maker on this team with Michael Hoyt, Ed Oliver, with Greg Rousseau, with Joey Bosa, with Dion, with the rookies making contributions, with Ogunjobi stepping in and making plays, with Daquan Jones having him there. They haven't been healthy all year. And so that unit is, without that, it's not the unit. They're never going to be the unit that you want them to be, because losing Ed Oliver and Michael Hoyt are crushing injuries for this defense. And everybody just wants to act like it's okay. Like, it's like, but they should still know. Like, there's no but when those two guys were literally like probably the most vital point on your defense to their success, and they're out. That's going to have an effect.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the offense more because that's a fully healthy unit besides Kincaid, which and Spencer Brown's hurt in this game too, and he battled through his shoulder injury, and he should have left that game way earlier because Daniil Hunter and both tackles today. That's really what, as much as the issue is, there's two things, Mo, that I think really manifested. Well, three things that really manifested here, outside of the whole Joe Brady conversation, is the offensive line had the worst outing it's had in years. They just got destroyed by Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. They're going to do that to a lot of teams. They have done that to a lot of teams this year. Josh Allen is getting sacked more than he ever has in his career, and it showed again today. Eight sacks. If he hasn't lost a step or a quarter step or something, he's trying to make too much happen because nobody's open down the field. And that without Kincaid, Palmer didn't come out. He came out and he does the hook and ladder at the, which, I mean, how about, of course the Bills are going to have a succcessful hook and ladder in the most depressing game
on 4th and 27,
right?
Yeah.
On 4th and 27. But Josh Palmer was not out there on those on that drive until that play. And they really needed to put him out there because they had no other receiver. So I don't know if Palmer is hurt again or if he was just not delivering it all tonight, but he wasn't out there in a time where you would think he would be out there. So
I mean, he was out there in the final snap.
But I'm saying he, up until that 4th and 27, he wasn't on the field for those first couple plays. And what else would you not have Josh? There's no reason to have Elijah Moore out there in front of Josh Palmer unless he's battling through some injury. That's what I'm taking it as. Otherwise, you're getting way too cute. And we've seen what this offense looks like without Kincaid and Palmer.
They definitely are too fucking cute, though. That's the thing. That's Joe Brady's MO, is that he's way too cute. That he's Josh Allen. He wasn't great. Both the picks are terrible. The first interception, which I actually had to see on replay. I went to the bathroom quick, but that's a boneheaded play. It doesn't make any sense. There's two guys who are wide open. Take the check down. That's not a good play, no matter what defense you're playing against. It's just fucking late, and that linebacker is just sitting there perfectly. If he was just a little bit more athletic, he comes down with the interception himself, but he tips it up perfectly to the safety. Like, that's awful. And Josh gets bailed out that it's not a pick six, so he keeps that streak going. That's fucking cool. And then the second pick, whatever's going to happen on that play, because they called pass interference on Gabe Davis, so even if it's completion, it's getting wiped away. But Knox is wide open on the sideline. No one with 10 yards of him, and he doesn't go to him. And I get what he's looking for. Elijah Palmer is down the field, but you're throwing off your back foot. You underthrew that so terribly. It's never going to get to him. So Josh in his own head. You're talking about the sacks. The offensive line, obviously awful for most of this game. Dion, I think, does have a concussion. They cleared him, but he did not look the same at all. And he's been bad this whole year. I mean, it's a safe conversation to have. He has not been the same level of player at all. He's been having a lot of penalties, a lot of false starts, a lot of holding penalties. He just
a false start at the worst possible time in this game. Allen throws that pick at the end, but it could have been 4th and 1. They could have had the whole playbook open. They still had a timeout, and Dion scared shitless. But it takes a false start penalty because he's terrified of what Will Anderson's going to do to him that he's been doing to him all night, and it turns out into that. It was a really tough offensive performance, and not one that you look. They need it. It's a guy, and it's terrible because the guy hasn't been healthy the last 2 years. But they need Kincaid on this offense. He's such a difference maker, and he is Josh's go-to target. He is their number one receiving target. He's one of their best receivers, and they clearly are a hampered offense without him. But regardless, that's just a failure of building this wide receiver room around Allen, and it's been a story all year long. And there's nothing they can do to fix it. And they're clearly grasping for answers. when you're sitting your second round pick for a year and a half in, when you're playing Gabe Davis in back-to-back games, when, and Curtis Samuel's out of this game too. Not saying he would have made a major difference, but it's just still another guy.
You just can't stay healthy either.
They'd prefer him to be on the field too than Elijah Moore.
It's just such a mess. Like the entire team, and I said it was like, people want to, the windows can close, Like, doesn't matter anything about the window when every single player is just getting hurt constantly. Like that, that third quarter especially, it seemed like every other play there was a bill going down. And it's like, what coming to this game, we signed we signed McCole Hardman to the active roster, and then he gets hurt in that game, and now he's on the IR. And it's like, well, that's just great luck. Curtis Samuel out again, like he's in and out of lineup, can't stay healthy. Kincaid in and out of the lineup. It's just, it's just a mess. And like you talked about, the defensive line never been healthy. The defense has not played a single snap this year where they've been fully healthy.
Healthy, yeah, agreed.
So it's like, I don't know, what are you supposed to do? It's, obviously, I don't know. And like you said, they haven't built around Josh like they should at all. They've gone with late round picks and tried to figure it out, and they've invested heavy in the defense, and this defense fucking sucks. Whatever you want to say about the injuries still, the guys that they have on this defense also really aren't showing up like they're supposed to. You got Greg Rousseau. All the guys they gave money to last year are not showing up, besides Shakir, who had a good game. He ended up having a pretty good game today. Greg Rousseau is
new dad Shakir. He had to get a ball out.
That new dad boost. Yeah, maybe Josh will have that too if the rumors are true. But Greg Rousseau, he's a ghost. He's not. He's barely even.
Josh needs to lay. I'm giving this credit to Carson Hayek, our boy Carson. Josh needs to lay off the red lobster biscuits is what he needs to do. He just looks slower, and that is a big issue. If he is slower, and here's the thing, it's not an issue to me if he's slower, Mo. The issue is that he doesn't know he's slower. It's not an issue. He still can be a good quarterback if he loses 10% of his speed that he has. And it's guys, I need to tell you, everybody watching this, listening, it's gonna happen. Josh is not going to be the same athlete at 29 and 30 that he was at 24 and 25. All of you, most of you, a lot of you are aging. You're probably in your watching this in your 20s, in your 30s. You probably can't do the same things that you used to be able to do, even if you're not an athlete, that when you were 18, 19, 20 years old. It's going to happen to Josh Allen. But if he doesn't realize it, that's going to be more of an issue. And that's what I feel like is happening. I don't think he looks like slow necessarily, but I think he doesn't understand his limitations at the moment, and it's hurting them. He's been less elusive this year. He's getting sacked more than he's ever been this year. You have to make that adjustment as a quarterback. You have to realize what that means for you. Now, I also think a lot of that is the receivers are shit and no one's open. Like, who cares? Who cares how great a pass block you have? Who cares if you have the most average time to throw in the league and more than you've ever had in your career when no one's getting open down the field? And that's happened one too many times. So that's why you can't just only say it's Allen's athleticism potentially slipping, because this unit is not good enough. Like, if we would have said in a gotta have it moment in Houston before the season, if I said gotta have it moment in Houston Thursday night, and the Bills wide receivers on the field are Elijah Moore, Tyrell Shavers, and Khalil Shakir, you'd be like, what happened? And no, sorry, I don't even want to put Shakir on the field. I want to say Elijah Moore, Tyrell Shavers, and Gabe Davis. Like, just and I don't even know if those three guys were on the field at the same time, but like the fact that these are the guys that we're looking to in these moments to contribute is a problem. Like, those aren't no team in the league would want to rely on those guys in those moments.
And that was
nobody.
Tyrell Shavers' breakout game last week, and he didn't have like a single target in this game. It's just like, I don't know.
The bet of the day was he last week after 90 yards, his over under was 22.5, and the public was like all over his over. And the bet of the day was to just take the under, because there's a reason Vegas was like, yeah, you still ain't doing nothing in this game, bro.
I don't know. They're a mess. I think I said this going back, and I quoted Bunt. It was after the 4th and 1 play where they decided to hand it off to James Cook for some reason instead of, just going forward with Josh Allen, which the play worked when you did it before. But no, let's not do it again. Joe Brady in short yardage situations is the dumbest fucking person in the world, and I can't wait until he leaves this job. I don't care if he's a head coach somewhere. I don't care if he gets fired. I don't care if he retires from football. This motherfucker needs to not be on the Bills coaching staff after, honestly, like by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. He's so fucking inept.
I can't know if that's going to happen.
He is the worst fucking coordinator I've seen with these Bills, and that's kind of fucking Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey, at least there were some highs with his offense. I fucking can't stand Joe Brady.
Ken Dorsey also had Stephon Diggs. So
yeah, Joe Brady had Stephon Diggs too, and what happened?
he did.
Fucking
You're
misused
right.
him so bad that he demanded to leave. That's what happened. Look at what Stephon Diggs is doing now with a competent offensive coordinator. We thought Stephon Diggs was washed.
I know what Stephon Diggs is doing. Comedian Mo Brown says this is Keon's fault. Well, in a way, it is Keon's fault because if Keon, I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah, if Keon wasn't a fucking head ass, you know.
If he wasn't a child, yeah, exactly. Because here's the thing with the Keon issue is he hasn't been good this year, but outside of that fourth quarter of the Ravens game. But clearly the reason he's not good at football is because he doesn't take it seriously enough. Like that has been the theme since his career, since he showed up and was locked inside the cryo chamber. And it's all funny in social media and games and everything else. The guy has not taken this opportunity clearly seriously enough to and if you can infer that he can't show up to meetings, you can infer that he's not putting in the extra work to become an elite receiver in this league. And so, yes, it is Keon's fault because they banked a lot on him. That's Brandon Beane's fault too for banking all of this offense on, but Keon Coleman's going to turn into a number one receiver this year because that's asinine. And that is, I got on people all summer counting out Cole Bishop. Cole Bishop was he played good again today in the hands of a bad defense. But my defense was, it's only going into his second year. He might get better. And people told me it's not a good strategy to hope. And I'm like, you know what? But you can't bail on the second year guy. Right. Well, Cole Bishop, what do we know about Cole Bishop though? Goes to work, stays late studying tape, we know he's a grinder. Like when you talk to him, he's so intense and locked in. It's like the exact opposite personality type of Keon Coleman. And no one was saying those things for Keon though. No one was everybody was just seeing him make plays in training camp and is like, oh God, we got another one. Keon's going to be fine. He's going to be good. And they didn't give him enough. They didn't give him the same, energy as they gave Cole Bishop in that scenario. And now it's completely flipped. And Cole Bishop is the guy who is a building block of this defense. And Keon is sitting out.
I would say the only good player on the defense.
No, Deion Walker is too. We got to give Deion Walker. Deion Walker today saved the Bills on a couple of those third downs by just blowing the play up completely on the third and 2, on the third and goal.
Which was lauded for years and years is a second-year safety and a rookie defensive tackle.
A rookie fourth-round defensive tackle, nonetheless.
He would have been he had injury his senior year. He would have been a higher round pick. So
yes, he would have.
I don't know. I've said I don't know which times.
But here's the thing. So can I give the boost of optimism that I tried to give the group chat, because the Pay the Bills podcast Tuesday, guys, is going to be depressing.
I saw all their tweets that they're cooked. They got a
Bunt wants to fire everybody. AJ said that's done. The window's closed. Carson's not all the way there, but he said they maybe hit their ceiling. Let me give you. I'm going to give the dose of optimism because this is what I do, and also this is truly what I believe. This is a good football team who's flawed. This was the wrong matchup tonight to walk into. And I said it. I don't know where it was in the clip. Maybe I wrote it down. If I didn't, I probably won't go look back. But I know I said it before the Tampa game that they're going to beat Tampa and lose to Houston because that's the team they are. It's a short week. It's a team that DeMeco Ryans showed us last year how much he was able to confuse Josh Allen in that game. And Allen played a little better today outside of the sacks. Basically, you turn instead of incompletions last year, it turns into sacks this year.
I would take what you want out of it. Take sacks because they still were one play away from winning this game.
They were, exactly. Well, they lost on a field goal last year too, though. So they were. That's the thing is and that's gonna part of my optimism of this game. 8 sacks, 3 turnovers. Defense disappears in the first half. Offense disappears in the second half. And you still have the ball on 4th and 6 in the red zone to go win the game. They are the Bills' ceiling might not be as high this year as in years past, but their floor is still so high that it is. Besides Miami, they've been a tough out in all these games. Like Atlanta struggled to put them away, even though everybody talks about how Atlanta dominated them that game. Atlanta struggled to put them away. New England did not have them, was not dominating them that whole game. They had them, they had them on, I had a lead. They had a 20-10 lead in that game, but they didn't dominate them the whole game. The Bills are a tough team to put out. And when you look at the rest of the AFC around everything, like who's great? Like, I'm sorry. I'm just not a believer that the Colts, the Patriots, and the Broncos are these unbeatable great teams. And maybe the changing of the guard happens this year. And maybe those three teams are the new, standard bearers of the AFC, and they're going to run the AFC for the next 3-4 years, and that's just what it's going to be. And if that's the case, then I'll eat my words and I'll come back and admit it. I'm not ready to admit that yet. I think the AFC is a bunch of good but flawed teams all smashed together. And the reason that the three teams right now in front, as much as anything else, is that they have, let me read this to you, Mo. Denver Broncos, the 28th strength of schedule. New England Patriots, the 31st strength of schedule. The Indianapolis Colts, the 29th strength of schedule. I think that's helped. I'm not saying they're not good teams, but I think that's helped them. The Chargers, 7-4, 27th strength of schedule. The Bills, 7-4, 25th strength of schedule. Like, those things have helped because it's a mid AFC, and these teams have beaten the bad teams that they're supposed to beat. But when they play a team amongst the level of themselves, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a 50-50 game. And the Texans are one of those teams because they have the best defense in the league.
Well, I mean, that's the Bills. I mean, besides the Texans loss, the Bills losses are to teams that they. Besides the Patriots too, because obviously the Patriots are 9-2. The Falcons loss and the Dolphins loss are not losses that they should be having. They're losing to teams that are like well below what their standard is supposed to be. Like, it's not.
Agreed.
That's not. I don't know. That's just not fitting in with the idea of what they're supposed to be doing at all. But I don't know.
I'm not saying this matters to the standings, keyboard warrior, this is apt. I'm saying it matters to the context of what the AFC looks like.
No, it does.
I'm saying from what the other teams have looked like this year, there's no dominant team that I'm afraid of in the AFC. So I don't think I'm not going into any game thinking the Bills are going to get worked. It's just not going to happen. Even the Eagles game later in the year, like the Eagles aren't just going to run all over them.
They probably will.
The Eagles are flawed too.
They probably will run all over them because every team runs all over the Bills.
Well, I just meant in in a general sense, not running the ball.
Yeah, there really isn't any team that you can look at and be like, this is like clearing out like the best team in the NFL. They all are like hit and miss. The biggest thing with the Bills and all these losses are just the turnovers, and they just. It's like whatever, like the turnover battle and like returning to the norm and like about sacks and stuff too. Like Josh taking these sacks this year, like I talked to you about it the other day. I think it's returning to the norm for his career. On average, you take out last year where it was only like 14 sacks, he got sacked 30 times a year. It was like 29 point something. So that's returning to the.
It was your boy. You're gonna love it. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Who put this stat out today? Mm-hmm. Benjamin Solak during the game. I just wanted to see what your reaction would be to Benjamin Solak. Sack rate on third down this year, highest it's ever been by a lot, 14.8%. The highest it's ever been before was 2019, 11.9%. So he's getting sacked more than ever on third down, at the very least.
Yeah.
But again, is that just on Josh? Is that on the offensive line who's slipping a little bit? Is it on the receivers is a bottom 5 to 10 group in the NFL? I think it's a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah.
And that's where go ahead.
But yeah, it is. And like I said,
oh no, Tyson said Haley's going to Drake May. That's crazy. We need the meme of the guy looking away. What was the? I can't remember. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. No, it's the sack. Like I said, the sacks are whatever. The percentage on third down is higher, but the sacks are returning to the norm for what they were for his career. Last year was an outlier. Last year they were the most efficient football team ever. That's not going to be the norm, and that's what people are expecting. And that's what fucking Thursday Night Football kept on showing too. It's like they only had this many turnovers all last year, but look at what they had in these last couple games. Yeah, because they were fucking efficiency monsters. But no team is like that forever. That's the same thing people talk about with Drake May, that he's the most efficient deep passer of all time. It's like, you really think that's going to be sustainable for this entire season or his career? That's just what he is now? That he's the greatest deep passer of all time? Or is it just favorable matchups and it's working out for them at a high clip? Josh needs to take care of the ball more. Both these interceptions are fucking terrible tonight. But you know what you had that usually don't ever see? Khalil Shakir had a fumble. I couldn't even tell you the last time he fumbled in his career. It's the Dolphins game. You go back to and you know what, you can look at this too. Last week against Tampa, they have 3 turnovers. They still win that game. And handily too. They end up winning by 12 points. You go to the week before against the Dolphins. That's bad. Josh's interception is dumb, doesn't really make any sense in the end zone, especially bad. His fumble, he's trying to make a play happen. James Cook, his fumble is because they're trying to make a play happen. I will live and die by those turnovers because guys are fucking trying. And those are one of the only 2 guys who are ever fucking trying every single down for the Bills. If that shit happens, it happens. You fucking just move on.
Thank you, Tommy Season.
Thank you.
Shout out to New Orleans Saints too.
Yeah,
because of that.
I wish you would have traded Chris Olave to us, man. That's
well, that's a whole thing.
I'll live and die by those turnovers. It's fine. Today it sucks. They're 2 bad plays. But you know what? Out of the 3 turnovers, obviously the one is there at the end of the game. The Bills defense only let up 6 points when they were fucking. The ball was placed at the 30-yard line both times.
The first pick was just arm arrogance. He just thought he could rip that into a window. That
arm arrogance too.
Well, yes, he
off my back.
But
make this.
The second pick is also he's just got to throw to Dawson Knox. I mean, he
should, and it's a pass interference penalty, so it's coming back either way.
Chris Olave? How about that? Chris Olave for Keon Coleman.
Let's
do some business?
How about Cameron Jordan? I'll take Cameron Jordan.
Yeah, Cameron Jordan, Tommy. We'll talk. We'll talk. I'll DM you. This is another thing about. I did just lose my point actually. Oh, to anybody who thinks that this is going to be, Tommy says deal for Cameron Jordan. Let's go. We'll call beating up right now. For anybody who thinks, even if the Bills go 9-8 this year, 10-7, lose in the wild card round to Baltimore,
you see,
whatever. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying to anybody who thinks that if they do this, that Terry Pagula is firing Brandon Beane or Sean McDermott, I've got a bridge to sell you to. Because Kevin Adams still has a job as we're sitting here today. Do you think that he's just gonna bail on Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott after one bad year if he's stuck by that guy for this long? Like, we're stuck with these guys. So if you guys think they're the issue, then I don't have any optimism for you. Or maybe Terry just gets rid of everybody at the same time. Maybe he's just like, hey, I'm clearing house everywhere. I fired James Franklin. I fired Kevin Adams. I fired Sean McDermott. I want new friends.
I mean,
hey, they're not firing James Franklin without asking Terry if he can pay that buyout money.
Well, now the buyout doesn't matter because he took a job. So
well, you know what I'm saying though. Like, unless Terry's just feeling like he needs a change in his life, this is the guys who they're going to try to get out of this ship with. As much as their issues are with coaching, and if you think Beane just can't acquire talent properly, that's the true thing. This AJ Cebulski tweeted it out earlier. It's the least talented Bills roster they've had in the Josh Allen era, by far, both sides of the ball. And you see it happen like on a game-to-game basis. Like, they don't have dogs.
Say that like the 2018 or 2019 teams were less talented.
2019 had a much better receiving core than this team did. They had Cole Beasley and John Brown. Yeah. I mean, that didn't have there's no James Cook on that team, and that defense was good. Yeah, the defense was the main reason they were there. It's tough. It's tough to see. We'll go to the playoffs and we'll not win the Super Bowl when we get rid of McDermott and Joe Brady.
If the Bills make the playoffs.
Now I like this. New stadium, new coaching staff. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. You're just like, hey. I don't know, guys. I think the Bills have issues literally everywhere right now. But all that being said,
I would say except special teams, but he missed the extra point.
Yeah, Prater did miss the extra point.
If he doesn't miss the extra point, they can kick a field goal.
Exactly, which actually costs them a chance to tie this game and go into overtime ultimately.
That's tough.
Also, and they got killed in field position today. There's one of the best punts you'll ever see from Houston, where a double bounce on the 1 yard line and then kicks to the 4. They also have Shakir run backwards 8 yards on a return, and then they have a block in the back or whatever the flag was. So they start inside their own 10 twice in this game. Like, they lost the field position battle massively, which was a huge
that was
detriment
after
in the
Shakir
offense.
did that. After Shakir did that, I said, "Is everyone on the Bills just on moron pills?" I said, "Is it something in the air that makes all of them fucking stupid?"
No, but I think you're onto something, because the thing is, they follow Josh Allen, right? Like, there you go. They live and die with his emotions and everything else. And I texted in our Pay the Bills group chat a couple times. I said their body language is fucked. Like, they don't look like all of them looked like they didn't want to have any part of that game in the third quarter. And not saying that they're not trying or anything like that, but it wasn't the confident group. It wasn't the confident, fun-loving group we saw last week. It was the exact opposite. And they were still in this game. Like, they were never out of this game, but you could just feel it, like, through the screen. See, and Allen saying, "What are we doing here?" after the 4th down stop on James Cook is absurd. Like, you've never seen him like question a coaching decision on camera. Like, he keeps that shit tucked in all the time.
Well, even
so imagine the frustration he's been feeling if he's willing to do that in this moment right now.
Well, imagine that if you had a very important job and you had a fucking idiot telling you what to do every 5 seconds, you'd be pretty mad too.
I love all my jobs, and none of my bosses are.
Once said fired Joe Brady, I quoted and I said this during after the Falcons game when we were on here for almost 2 hours with him and AJ. I said Joe Brady is the fucking terrorist of this organization and needs to go. Everyone makes jokes about McDermott. And,
maybe that's why they get along.
They worked together at 9/11 or whatever. McDermott was right, but whatever. Joe Brady,
he had a point. He did.
Joe Brady needs to go. He is such a merchant of the talent of the teams that he is.
Well, can I give you breaking news for that statement you just saw? As I see this tweet from 15 seconds ago,
you got fired?
Sean McDermott says he has trust in the offensive staff to get things figured out.
Sean's gonna be saying that until he fucking gets fired too, and he's like, "Well, I had a trust in this team."
Do they call Brian? They got 10 days. Do you think he makes a call to Brian Daboll?
I would have called him the second that he got fired from the Giants.
I feel like now you have to explore it this week.
There's no consistency in the offense. They don't have any kind of identity.
Have you seen Dennis Allen? I know you did have a terrible Dennis Allen experience in New Orleans, Tommy season. He hasn't been a bad defensive coordinator for the Bears defense is kind of bad.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
No, Dennis Allen's probably worse.
I can't stand
Bobby Babich might be the terrorist, honestly. Did he call plays today? He called plays in the first half. Sean's like, "All right, Bobby, I'm going to give you a chance."
If that's the case, and if Sean started calling in the second half and they only let up a field goal,
I mean, it looked different in the second half, didn't it?
Then Sean, just take the reins, man. Just take the reins.
Tommy, that man should be in jail for treason. That's crazy. treason to the state of Louisiana. I love it.
Treason to football.
Football treason. That is, hey.
But no,
football seriously.
I'll say it last time. Joe Brady is just a merchant. He's just a merchant of the teams that he is on and the talent that is on those teams. Where did he have his most success? When he was at LSU with possibly the greatest football roster that we've seen at least in this.
If Mike Bunt was here, he'd argue with you that Joe Burrow was never great until he had Joe Brady. So there's that.
They won like 10 games.
I know, and that's my. Yes.
Please. Take Joe Brady. Brady.
I'll drive him myself.
LSU won the Fiesta. I believe it's the Fiesta Bowl against UCF 40-30 without Joe Brady, and it was Joe Burrow doing that. And then they won undefeated the next year. They have is in that sense then that Justin Jefferson though and Jamar Chase are just symptoms of Joe Brady somehow? No, they're two of the best wide receivers in the league with anybody as their quarterback realistically. And Justin Jefferson a little bit less. It's tough for Justin Jefferson in Minnesota. There's not a lot of good quarterbacks there. But what happens after that? Joe Brady goes to Carolina. Is a fucking mess. Terrible. Bad organization. Sure. Gets booted. Where is he having success now? With James Cook, who's all pro level talent. Josh Allen, who is an MVP. Shakir, who was a great slot receiver. And they were able to be efficient, sure. But you're also neutering an offense. He is not this almighty, like, this coach or this coordinator that can make these teams better. He benefits so much from the talent that he's gifted on these rosters. That's why he needs to go. Simple as that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a good rebuttal for Joe Brady, but I got
there
nothing.
isn't. There's no way you can make an
rebuttal.
excuse for him. There's what does he do that's good? There isn't. I could fucking say hand the ball off to James Cook.
Listen, when the screen passes work, they do work.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
The one every 3 games when they work. That's awesome. He has the play calling ability of a 5-year-old. It's like a little cousin that you give a controller to in Madden that's not even turned on, and he thinks he's calling plays. That's Joe Brady.
Oh man. It's tough, but I still think that they're a flawed team, and it was a bad matchup, and I'm not going to overreact to this game.
It's not an overreaction. I think this is just what the team is.
But they can still win a lot of games.
Sure. I mean, they have won 7 games right now. But this is the same thing. They've also, their games that they've won aren't against, premier talent at all either. Who were their wins against? The Jets, the Dolphins.
They beat the Chiefs and the Ravens, man. The Chiefs are still second in Super Bowl odds, and the Ravens are probably going to win the AFC North.
Well, that's just an indictment on the AFC North more than.
We can't say they no. We can't. They're 5. Those teams are 5-5 right now. Could easily be in the playoff picture in a couple weeks again because the AFC playoff race is mid. The right now the last wild card is 6-5. That's where we're at this point. It's Houston. Those teams could. Kansas City plays Indianapolis and Houston the next 2 weeks. If they win, they're 7-5. They're safely in the wild card, and they beat one of the best teams in the league. So that's what I mean. The Bills can get up and play. They can play with anybody. They haven't gotten blown. The only game they got blown out in is Miami. And that was the worst. That was a terrible game. Don't get me wrong. Were they also due to get beat by Miami? Yes, they were.
I do think they were. I do think they were due to get to.
So I can explain away all the losses. That's the thing.
I don't know. You can make these excuses. I think this is just what they are as a team. I think they're probably I don't know. I think they're probably still an 11-6 football team, maybe 12-5. I don't feel confident that they're going to go into Foxborough and win that game at all. Not the way that they're playing, really at any level. So I mean, paint that as whatever. I don't really give a shit about winning that division because whatever it about home playoff games, you know what? Some of these times it hasn't helped them in the past, anyways. They lost to the Bengals at home. They lost to the Chiefs at home. What does it fucking matter? Go on the road and try to do it. Don't go to NRG Stadium anymore, obviously, because that's a shit show. Hopefully, somehow the Colts don't collapse and the Texans just win the division. But whatever the case is, this is the team that they are. They are wildly inconsistent and they don't have a good defense. That's all. The offense is wildly inconsistent and the defense is consistently bad. That's just what they are. We got to accept it. There's no point in really talking about it from that standpoint anymore.
Yeah. But if they can keep teams to 23 points, the Bills should be able to win.
They just did that today and they didn't win.
I said they should be able to. You should be able to win. You should be able to execute. It's not as much. It's the fact that they don't play complementary. It's then the defense is up, the offense is down, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But again, they still put up 44 points last week
against a bad defense.
They can. I understand. They played well against Kansas City, the defense. I know that I'm not saying the defense is good. I understand this team has flaws. My whole reason for optimism is that they're still good and the rest of the AFC isn't that good. Like, it's not as good as people say.
I think
where I'm at.
I think they're fine. I think they're fine. I don't know. I don't want to say they're good. And this is the thing, honestly, whatever about the defense, the bigger concern to me is just the offense overall. Because if you have an amazing offense, who gives a shit about your defense? Because you can just score on every drive. If your offense is good enough. Then, like you said, they're not playing complementary. I don't think that they have a good enough offense at all, like in any capacity, to be able to compete in any close game in the playoffs. And that's just like simple matter of fact. They just don't. I don't like. Who would they go if? Who are they? They're the 5 seed right now. So who are they on the road against? The Steelers.
Yes.
Well, in a couple weeks, I guess. In 3 weeks they play the Steelers. So I guess we'll see what that kind of matchup would look like, anyways. But I don't know. I could imagine that Josh would get sacked like 7 times in that game too against that defensive line, especially if the offensive line is looking this way. They're not going to get separation against any of those guys in that secondary. They're going to get lit up. So
I don't know about that. I don't know if they're going to get lit up.
I don't think the defense might not get lit up. That's a game where the defense might show up because it's old man Rodgers. The offense, they're going to put up 17 points. I'm calling that right now.
No, I disagree. I think they're beating the Steelers because this is a helter-skelter team. They get 10 days off. They're going to come out and romp the Steelers, and then everybody's going to be feeling good going to the Bengals.
Or do they play Steelers next?
No, they play the Steelers next.
They play Steelers next, and then it's the Bengals.
They'll beat the Steelers. They'll lose to the Bengals. They'll beat the Patriots.
Well,
that's what's going to happen.
It's going to be the Joe Burrow Bengals. They're definitely going to lose.
That's what's going to happen. They're going to beat the Steelers. Everybody's going to feel a little better. Then they're going to lose to the Bengals. Everybody's going to be like, "Oh, this team's completely done." And then they're going to beat New England. No, they're going to beat New England.
Lose to the Pats.
They're not going to. I really don't think they're going to lose to the Patriots.
I think they're going to get smoked. Not smoked, but they're going to lose. They're going to lose like
they had 3 turnovers against them and lost by 3. That team is not like you've watched. You can't tell me you've watched New England this year and thought, "Wow, that is the best team in football by far."
I think
they've won a lot of games. They've won a lot. How many teams consistently win 1-score games year to year? We just saw this with the Chiefs last year, won 11 1-score games, and then this year losing 5. Like, the Patriots are winning all their 1-score games. It's not going to happen all year long. It's just not.
I mean, it did.
And if it happens this year, it's not going to happen. Like, they're not cooked for the whole year, like the rest of time either.
It did. I mean, no, I don't think it's for the rest of the time. I think I don't think that the organization has the balls to do what they need to do. So they kind of might be cooked for all time. They bought in on all these old guys and on these guys who they thought were going to pan out, and none of them have panned out since getting these contracts. Benford's not good. Bernard's not good. Greg Rousseau's not good. Shakir, right side, nice. Spencer Brown was good up until this game, and now but complete liability. Dion, liability. You go out and get Curtis Samuel, he doesn't even barely play. Dawson Knox is taking up all this money, doesn't even play. Kincaid, your first round pick from 2 years ago, doesn't even play because he can't stay healthy. Coleman, healthy scratch 2 weeks in a row. Josh Palmer, who I called Elijah Palmer earlier by accident. Josh Palmer.
I honestly thought that was pretty funny when you went with Elijah Palmer.
Whatever. I got to mix up. Elijah Moore, who I said in the offseason is the worst wide receiver I've ever seen, still somehow getting snaps on this team. The organization needs a massive overhaul to fix anything, and they're not going to be willing to do it because they think that they're smart. And this is what
they're not.
We are what, 7 months removed from Brandon Beane saying you guys got to quit bitching about wide receivers, and then now look at how this team is.
I said a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
organizational hubris.
Yeah,
I mean,
the organization doesn't have the balls to do anything.
They're
refs did as well. I did think there was no penalties on the Texans until the third quarter of the game. That's a little
and there was when on the one pass that Allen got out of the sack and threw it away, and then Al-Shaair went right at Deion Dawkins' knees and then tried to apologize to him after. I had my antennas up on that. I was like, "What are you doing, man?
Yeah,
like, what are you going there
for?" There was also on that very first on their drive, which they scored the touchdown, the opening drive touchdown. where Jordan Hancock gets called for this holding penalty, he gets thrown to the ground. Like you can see it on the replay very easily. Like he's not holding at all. If anything, he got tackled, and then he just whatever holding goes the other way. I don't know, and that's the thing. Like every single kick return, there was a special. I mean, besides the kick return touchdown, there was always a penalty. I don't really know how that works out, but whatever. That's the only stock up for the day. I would say is Ray Davis, stock up kick returner. Good job.
He's an elite kick returner now.
He's had a great couple weeks.
Yeah,
that's only the 4th kick return touchdown of the
his
season.
Birthday today?
Yeah, it is his birthday. That's only the 4th kick return touchdown of the year. They said. I gotta think that at this time, like 2 years ago, before they did these new kickoff rules, that there was more touchdowns. I don't have the stats to back that up. I'm just gonna assume it because I think the kickoff rules are stupid.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna run with that. So,
who did? Never mind. I forgot what I was gonna say there. That's a sign that it's 12:30 on the East Coast. It's 11:30 here in Chicago. That's the time that we're. Any last words? We're gonna wrap up here. Any last words, Mo? What do you got?
Joe Brady.
Fire everybody.
No, we'll start with Joe Brady. He shouldn't have even be on the plane. Like honest, like genuinely. Like they should make him have to drive home. Like I don't want don't
call call Brian Dable in the parking lot like Draymond Green calling KD.
Yeah.
Hey man, can you be in the office tomorrow? We'll get Joe's office cleared out before you get here. Don't worry. Can you get the flight? Can you get the 4 p.m. American flight to from New York to Buffalo? And Tommy Season wants him. He's welcoming with open arms down there in New Orleans. So it's perfect. We found you a home.
Yeah.
Tommy, is this for LSU or is this for the Saints? That's what I need to know more. Like, are you telling him to like which home is home in New Orleans? Are you just a Saints fan? Because that's a little riskier. I'm not gonna lie. But LSU, I feel like it's a good idea. He could go home there and maybe have some success.
Some are saying that Tyler Shough is better than Josh Allen right now. No, I'm kidding.
I'm going with Carson. He said just the state of Louisiana.
Okay. Go home, Joe Brady.
Yeah, go home.
Please go home.
Go coach Louisiana high school football, Joe Brady. That is your calling.
That's basically the offense that he runs is high school offense. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say fire everybody. It's not going to happen, but I mean, I think it's time to fire everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
but I still don't think this team's out of like a Super Bowl chance this year. I'm not riding the roller coaster. I'm not even saying a roller coaster. I just don't think this team is good enough for that. That's all it is. It's not a roller coaster where it's like up and down. I just don't think overall that they are a good enough team. That's fair.
I think they're a borderline playoff team.
Fans are riding the roller coaster though.
Well, yeah, because fans are fickle.
He said any team he wants. All right, Joe Brady gets to choose. I like it. I just listen. I'm just gonna go down with it this year. That I don't believe that New England, Denver, and Indy are that good, and that's that.
When it's Bo Nix and Drake May in the AFC Championship game.
Then I'll admit I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong. I'm just not gonna say that.
And who's that on the NFC side? I guess Matt Stafford and
no. We need if it's then we need Sam Darnold versus like Caleb Williams. imagine that Final Four.
They knew to sneak in and then get hot in the playoffs like Casey. That's fair.
They could.
Casey
They're so streak.
Casey also didn't like. I mean, they guess they did get hot in the playoffs, but they also were like 15-2. So they were. I mean, they were the 1 seed still.
I think he's talking about a couple years ago when they beat the Bills.
Yeah.
Beat the Bills, beat the Dolphins, beat the Bills, beat the Ravens, beat the Eagles. That was a pretty good run for them.
That is good. That's good, Super Bowl.
Miami, Houston, and Atlanta are bad losses, and I agree. Like that's why I'm fine saying they're not a great team.
The Atlanta loss at the time was not that bad because Atlanta was like, okay, they're like a mid-league team, but they're like scrappy. Like Bijan's good, and now it looks really bad. At the time, it wasn't that bad. It was what, week 5, 6? It's week 6. It wasn't that bad.
This is a fair take about the Patriots. Not a powerhouse, but I think they would even admit that. But they did beat 2 good teams this year, and they do have a great point differential. I think they're they've got a quarterback playing at MVP level, and they've got one of the best coaches in football. So I agree. Like, I think the Patriots are very good, just not dominant.
The point differential, though, is like also you beat up on bad teams and boost your point differential. The Bills,
the same as the Bills. They beat the Panthers by like 50 points. So
yeah. The Panthers swept the Falcons.
I'm just saying the Patriots play in Cincy this week, and Joe Burrow's coming back. Like, I could see Cincy winning that game
with
like,
no Jamar Chase though. He's suspended, so
that's fine. T. Higgins time.
Yeah,
I have him in like a lot of fantasy leagues, so I really need T. Higgins to go on. Now they'll beat the Giants. Don't get me wrong, but not the Bengals. They can do it. Come on, Cincy. This is the thing. Football fans, Bills fans, anything. Yeah, maybe your team isn't going to be a dominant Super Bowl contender every year. Maybe you are disappointed, but that it changes your foot. You gotta open your football experience perspective. Now we just turn into Bengals fans this week, and we just hope for the downfall of our rivals so that they come down to our level, and then we still have a chance. If New England goes 15-2, good for them. I just don't think they're going 15-2. So let's have them start losing some games here. Let's have them start slipping up.
They win 14 games in a row. That'd be kind of crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, what are we talking about here?
I don't know. I'm already gonna probably lose. I'm probably gonna lose my bet. I said that they weren't gonna win. I said that they would have more than 5 losses with our father. And
yeah, they better start losing quick.
Well, what was that game they should have fucking lost? What was the one? Oh, the Bucks. They escaped with that win against the Bucks. That sucked. That would have been a good one for them to lose. But oh well. I don't know. I don't need to talk about the Patriots. They're mid.
I don't want to talk about anybody anymore.
I think Drake May is whatever. I don't think he's the second coming of Jesus. I saw this shit in North Carolina too, and then I watched him fall apart in every big game that he ever played in. So
that's what I'm saying. We haven't seen. Can we see these guys play in a playoff game first before we anoint them?
Drake May's freshman year, I was like, this kid's the fucking truth, and then he never won a big game.
I've seen Daniel Jones in a playoff game. It wasn't the prettiest thing.
We saw Bo Nix in a playoff game.
It wasn't the prettiest thing.
No, the first drive was good, and then after
that, and then nothing else. Yeah. Like, guys, like, I'm just saying it. All you know what all this means though is that Kansas City's winning the Super Bowl. That's just what it means.
I don't think Kansas City's making.
Bills are down.
Kansas City's not gonna.
Ravens are down. They're gonna.
I really don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. So
they're beating Indy this week.
Well, Daniel Jones might not be playing.
Oh man, Anthony Richardson in Arrowhead. Oh boy!
What if that's his legacy game? What if
legacy as one of the biggest quarterback busts in NFL history? That's what I think is.
Oh, that's still. I mean, I guess one of.
Yeah. I said one of. That's why I kept Jamarcus. I kept a safe space for Jamarcus.
Where does Josh Rosen fall in? Because like that guy, never really had a chance.
It's the difference between like being a top 5 pick and number 9 in that scenario, and also like Rosen was behind 3 other quarterbacks too.
Yeah.
So like it's a little. He gets a little bit more of a pass.
Wasn't Richardson the 3rd quarterback off the board?
I think so.
It might have been 4th.
Did they pick? It wasn't 4 quarterbacks in a row. He was number 4 overall. Tommy also offered us Juwan Johnson, and he wants Keon Coleman.
Juwan Johnson has like 9 drops on the season.
No!
I don't want that.
You got turned down. Sorry, Tommy. I've been trying to give you what you want. I'm a fan of the.
No, he was the 3rd quarterback. It was Bryce Young. Bryce Young, elite.
Yeah, Bryce is good.
And then C.J. Stroud, who bum, and then Will Anderson Jr., obviously elite, and then Anthony Richardson.
I mean, oh my God, Will Anderson, like.
3 sacks today?
Josh is going to see him in his nightmares, man.
Yeah.
He chased him down like over 100 yards on that 1 sack or something like that total on that play. Oh, also, this Pay the Bills group was going off. I was trying to fire back optimism. The boys are down bad. I've been trying to keep them up. It's over for this.
Tell them to go to sleep. They got to work in the morning.
They are going to bed now, but everybody's down bad. I'm going to have to try to bring the vibes up around the podcast here. Otherwise, this is going to be a depressing podcast entering the 4th quarter, Josh Allen had already traveled more yards by distance from snap to whistle than any Bills wide receiver. That's tough. That's a tough look.
We'll always have the 4th and 27.
We're gonna leave you with this. We're calling it to be Keon Coleman, Joe Brady, and a player to be named later, and a 4th round pick. I didn't agree to that, but we'll go with it.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Yep.
You do it.
And Joe Brady gets to coach any team in Louisiana that he wants. We don't want Juwan Johnson. It's okay. You can keep Juwan.
Yeah. Joe Brady's gonna be coaching his Madden Ultimate team. That's all he's gonna fucking do. Because he sucks. So
what is Joe like? Nico Harrison changed his IG to unemployed the other day. Joe Brady goes Twitter bio goes from offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills to just Louisiana.
I hope he tweets out 0-1.
You know what? If you tweet the 1-0 out, you should tweet the 0-1 out. It is kind of soft.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Well, this is gonna be a long 10 days until the Bills and Thanksgiving's gonna be just tensions are gonna be high across Western New York.
The Chiefs. I think that's the I don't even remember. Is that the 3 o'clock game? Noon game? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
Packers, Lions, Chiefs, Cowboys, Bengals, Ravens.
Bengals get that, or the Ravens get that 8 o'clock game on Thanksgiving a lot.
Yeah, they do.
But
you know that also the Chiefs and Cowboys, or the Chiefs too, actually. The Chiefs, Cowboys, and Lions all play on Christmas Day too.
No, big brands.
I guess. Lions, Vikings, I think it's Cowboys, Commanders, and Chiefs, Broncos on Christmas Day.
Lions and Cowboys are synonymous with Thanksgiving, so they're always going to have that, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's Christmas, essentially. The Chiefs had Christmas a couple years ago, too, so that's a little much.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Christmas Chiefs.
Black Friday game, Bears, Eagles.
Hey, listen, if I'm going to pretend to be a Bears fan on Sunday, go to a bar, watch them beat the Steelers, and be happy. That's my plan.
All right. I think that's
all right.
Yeah.
Go Bills. Yeah, I know. I just declared I'm going to be a Bears fan for a day at the end of the Bills podcast.
I think it's fine. It's fine. They just lost. They don't play this Sunday. It's okay.
Yeah, you got to. This is what I mean, guys. You got to have fun watching football, and if that means bailing on your team the day that they're not playing, that's
college football. All that matters. Saturday, big day.
It's not exactly a big day, but I do like the sentiment.
It is. The worst college football game is better than the best NFL game.
All right. Well, we're going to leave on that note. Thank you to our sponsor, Picasso's Pizza at picassopizza.net. Thank you for joining the Pay the Bills podcast.